Hey guys, this is Chase Knight, chasebt694. Playing Twilight Struggle. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. I actually played this game a couple days ago, and then kind of got busy and decided to re-narrate it because during the original playthrough, I had my little nephew came in and talked to me for a bit and things like that. So we already know the outcome of the game, but I'll try not to you know allude to what's going to happen. Um, Lots of mistakes in this game, though. So it'll be lots for you guys to talk about. Definitely lambast me in my play here. But anyway, Doomsday played fantastic. Excited to kind of get this game out there. Um, so right now, kind of looking at our cards. We got a typical setup. You know, we bid for sides. I got USA. Bunch of USSR cars, Decal, Suez, Korean, Warsaw, Romanian, European. So not a great first hand for USA, but at least we'll get some cards out of the way. Hopefully we can, so ultimately what we'd like to do is keep Decal, hold it, so we can hopefully get it, hold it to 3. We're going to go ahead and play European scoring because we just kind of wanted to get it out. He plays socialist government, so he's going to probably get this for 2. Kind of sucks. At least we're not losing it for 5. And ultimately, he coups Italy, he flips Italy. It could be worse, going ahead and playing it now, even with him playing socialist government. So Doomsday is actually asking me about the recording. So it's kind of cool. But other things, kind of looking at our hand, we definitely like to, if we can, get Suez Crisis out of the deck so it doesn't come back to bite us. Not that worried about Warsaw Pack. Go ahead and play it. Get it out of the deck. So we have some cards. Hopefully we can be a little lucky on the Korean War roll and be able to take South Korea. And so we'll probably coup with Warsaw Pact. And then not really a whole lot of options, so really not a great first hand. And we're spotting them a couple points right out of the gate. So we'll see what happens here. So he's definitely got some choices. There we go. So he scores it for 2. Comes in with the coup. Interesting that he coups with the East European unrest. It's a card I typically would like to coup with. So maybe we might be okay. If that means either he has some events he wants to play or he doesn't really have great coup cards. So it could be kind of it's gonna equal out a little bit of the Warsaw Pact. So he'll still not get a huge advantage there. But yeah, I mean, all things considered, a little curious he's doing East European unrest. Kind of as a counter here, looking at what we could do. What we're going to do is go ahead. Yeah. So we take back West Germany. We don't want the easy access. He can go ahead and go into France. It is what it is, but we got to protect it. We're going to hold Warsaw Pact or Suez Crisis to the end of the hand to try to protect against blockade. This is going to be one of those kind of games. But what we're going ahead and do, the reason why we're going ahead and put the 1 in Lebanon is now it gives him a choice. He's got to worry about Middle East a little bit. Does he throw influence back there? Does he does he go ahead and take France? So he's got a choice to make here. The other thing is we'd like for him just to go ahead and take France, whatever, and play Suez Crisis. We'll go ahead and get that card out of the deck. That's kind of the idea here. It has the least amount of impact right now. That is the idea here. So we're giving him a choice. What does he do? Wow. So he plays Blockade. So since he plays Blockade, we have to be mindful that's going to come back, we don't have to worry about next round, but we will have to worry about round 3. He coups Lebanon, so he's definitely worried about that Middle East. So at this point, I think, all right. So the thought process here was, all right, I still wanted to play Suez Crisis before I moved into France. Okay. And so we go, we place another one in the Middle East so that way when we play Suez Crisis, we don't knock ourselves out of that region, especially then if he he coups Iran. So that's the idea on the Romanian play. Plus, if he's, got a card. So he plays this for an event, which is a little interesting, but he actually wins, so he gets 2 victory points. We're going to go ahead and play Suez Crisis. He's going to obviously take 2 out of UK, and we're going to go ahead and throw all 3 of it into France. So now he's got to counter-react. He's got to secure Italy. And he gives us a shot to kind of take it back if he doesn't. So we can coup, we can, kind of march into Asia. It's going to give us some options here and things to do. We still have to worry about de Gaulle. Socialist government can come back out, but we got rid of one of the bad boys. And we're not just completely punting Europe. We're still making it tough for him. So, but he's gotten a little lucky. He won the role for the war card. All right, so he throws he throws his Nasser card into Italy. What we might do at the end of the turn, or a trigger, don't win it. God dang it! So he wins that roll too. We'll put 2. So we've gotten a little lucky. He's already won 2 of the war cards. He got 2 off the bat. We played Europe, so he's off to an early start, picking up some victory points. But we got a little unlucky with that. So he spaces defectors. So I guess at this point he realizes that, hey, I might as well start rolling the points. So he tries to, instead of giving us 1 back, he tries to get 2. I don't really see us spacing a card right now. Well, I really would have thought I would have waited and used Warsaw Pact a little differently. So I throw 2 in Pakistan to try to get ready, I guess, for when he coups, whatever. I guess I'll try to hold off for a coup, the counter coup, so to speak. But now we know we have to coup something. We have to get something a shot. If I had to do this again, I'm pretty sure I would play special relationships first, but kept the bigger card to give us a little more flexibility. Maybe played that 2 ops into South Korea. Go ahead and take South Korea. Might have been the play. I guess I was worried about getting knocked out of the Middle East. And then he takes it. He takes the 2 points there too. So right now, we've got a coup, or he gets 4 victory points. He's at 12 at the end of round 1. So we have to coup. He's still going to get 1 victory point. Don't really have great options, but we can 5 or 6. 5 would have knocked him out. 6 we would have, gained 1. So he gets 1 extra victory point there. The DEFCON's back at 4. So a pretty awful start for round 1. Position wise on board, it could have been worse. We've got duck and cover. Maybe we do that to try to protect the Middle East, but get a couple victory points back. We'll get 2 victory points out of this. If it was at 3, we would get 3 victory points, which is even better. So he headlines de Gaulle. All right, we got 2 victory points. he's pushing for France. Let's see what he does. I mean, I'm assuming he's going to go ahead and take a card. The typical play here would be to go ahead and play that card into France and take it. Um, but he coups instead, so he's going for the military ops, going for the victory points. We don't really have a way to get any victory points either from the military ops, so he's really definitely playing the military ops there. We're going to throw one in France, try to, we didn't want to get knocked out in the Middle East since we got the scoring card. Right now, we can get away even. So other things to think about. We could play independent red to kind of throw a little kink in, especially into Romania. We could. We've got a couple cards, bigger cards. We've got Japan. We've got Marshall Plan. We might try to leave them in the deck. Play them for the ops, leave them in the deck. We still don't want to play decal. We want to hold that to round 3. And we might space Vietnam, just try to keep that access out of the Southeast Asia. So kind of a peculiar way the game this has started off. He's picked up a ton of little nickety-knack points, mainly from, he got two from European scoring because he plays socialist government. We were trying to play it for even. And he won 2 war cards. He got the 2 points for spacing, 1 military out point. So apparently he left for a few minutes. Still waiting for see what he does here. I'm assuming he'll do some typical reinforcement, go up in the Germany, Poland, maybe throw one and back in one of the places where you would typically worry about independent reds, but Romania is already in place. Maybe Yugoslavia. We're still waiting. Kind of interesting though is that is that there's France sitting contested, or South Korea contested, and hadn't been able to have the ops to really move around, really take up a lot of space. And really look at what he's done. Basically he's been able to, throw a little bit of ops around, but not a whole lot. I mean, he's really picked up the victory points more than he has, spreading his influence out. He's so he gets NATO. Okay. So he, goes into Saudi, goes ahead and gets to the west part of Egypt, trying to get to the western part of the Middle East. We're going to go ahead and score it because if we try do anything cute here, I mean, all we're going to do is he's going to get nomination. So we'll call it, play it for even. The worst part about it is just tempo here. We've got to play the scoring card because we're trying to get out of it scoring, a whole lot less points. But, we can go, Marshall Plan, and we can throw 4 of them, into Iraq, take Iraq, throw one in Israel. He throws a 3-up card and takes the other part of West Middle East. I guess then at that point we could throw a 4-up card and take Israel, but it's not protected. You still have to worry about the card. So we could throw a ton of ops at the region to try to, ultimately just play it for even. So we're going ahead and playing it for even. It's give them a little bit of a start. Have a chance to go ahead and take France most likely. Or maybe he solidifies his Middle East. I'm not sure. So he plays Fidel for influence. Okay. So now we've got to basically kind of protect against that, so the idea here is, he's trying to go into Pakistan, but he's definitely we're definitely worried about the Pakistan war card. And I'm looking at why I did what I did. Go ahead and take it Pakistan. Go ahead and take it South Korea. I want to push it just in case he's got the scoring card. But really, we know he's got the Pakistan war card. We know it. We get lucky. He had to roll 5 or 6. He rolls 4. It's the first war card. He doesn't win. But honestly, what we should have did was we should have protected Afghanistan first. We should have gone with the 3-1. It worked out for us. We ended up ultimately doing what we want. We took South Korea, France. We held on to Pakistan and Afghanistan. But if I had to do it again, I'm pretty sure I would have gone all of it. 3 into Afghanistan or Pakistan, reprotected Afghanistan to protect against the war card. And then basically he has to roll, a 6, which is a better protection than a 5 or 6. But, might have persuaded him not to play the war card and maybe try to move elsewhere. So it's really tough to tell. So ultimately, we win there. We end up taking France, South Korea. Right now, we have Pakistan in the war card. Out for the round, we do have to worry about it as early as next round, though. So that's something we still have to worry about. And essentially, we've got 2 plays left, but we're only going to play 1 card. So we got 2 ops. Independent Reds. We also want to space Vietnam revolts. So the question is, do we play Independent Reds in Romania? Or do we play into to go ahead and space up? So play 2 in intervention. He plays 1 op into Spain. We're going to space this. The other option was playing Independent Reds. Just so that way if he has Truman, it hurts a little more. Just kind of as a late card thing, but especially since we're kind of hoping. I don't know. We should have probably played Independent Reds right there, just in case he did have Truman. Just double checking to see if he did. So he plays Containment. All right. So we would have gone into Italy, but we get this for 3. Go ahead and take India. All right. So we got Asia. He's at 9. So luckily we'll score Asia for 6. Or 7. Yeah, 7. Which is awesome. We can also play Defectors. Might not have been a bad play. It's most likely he's going to coup something with his first play. Then we can play it. Might not have been a bad play. just because we haven't seen Red Scare to start off this game. So it means he got Red Scare. So does he headline with Red Scare? So, if we would have slowed my roll down just a little bit right here, I might have played Defectors. Knowing Red Scare, he's got Red Scare. It's so tempting to play. Maybe he looks at the deck, realizes Defectors. He could be Defector, and he doesn't. That's kind of why I went with Asia, was kind of thinking that, hey, people, it's harder as Russia to play Red Scare, big 4-op card, knowing that Defectors is out there. It's worth the gamble a lot of times. And of course, we do get Red Scare. So at least we dropped the VPs back down, so it was a manageable game again. So thank goodness we get that for 7. Big coup coming. And now we're big time trouble in the Middle East. So he rolls a 4. We use a 4-op card. He rolls a 4. We need to kind of counter in that region. So looking at our cards, by the way, the great news for this game, though, is decall, destall. I've got them both. All right. So if he's got Middle East scored, he scores it here for a bunch. It came back out. Kind of thinking I might throw NORAD into action, just because if you can get NORAD to stick for a whole game, it could be such a big card, giving you a chance to flip regions, especially throughout the region, throughout everywhere. So all right, so he doesn't have Middle East scoring. He goes ahead and takes goal. So we go ahead and play. Use you in intervention, get rid of decall. We can space destall and get out of the, be able to get rid of those cards and not worry about Red Scare. So kind of a start this game. Round 1 was pretty rough. Round 3 we get hit with Red Scare. Probably should have defected. But the good news is we get rid of decall and destall. So that's at least a win there. Problem is kind of, Cambridge 5 is, 1-op. We got 1-op with independent reds. That's why it's tempting to go ahead and play it for the event. He does have Truman Doctrine, so he does have to play it. So it might be worth going ahead and playing it. Because then kind of at least it makes it be Europe instead of 5, it's 4. It might be worth it. So he's saying he messed up last action round because he definitely has CIA. So he'd like to go ahead and, get rid of CIA. If he would have played beforehand, he could have played it without a consequence since he doesn't have any influence in Third War. But he spaces 5-year plan, mainly because he's got to space it now that he's got CIA. So go ahead and try to space destall to try to catch back up with the space race. No go there. So no luck on the space race so far. So we still need at least have an influence in the Middle East, so we'll probably try to use some of our influence here in Iran to get it. We'll probably throw Cambridge 5 there. He's got the China card. That's what kind of made the CIA not be that big of a deal. So he spaces again, gets it for another +2 points. So he's definitely picked up on the little 2 points. playing similar to a safety style where you pick up a lot of points. But some of it's been a little lucky too. He's won the war cards without a doubt. Um, so won the events. We're still able to take South Korea despite him winning that war card, but he won the India war card. No, not the India war card, but the Israeli war card. So playing independent reds for the event should have been the play. Back out of it. Decide, just use the influence and leave it in the deck. Go ahead, play NORAD, thinking that maybe I could get that going as the game goes along. But knowing that I'm not going to be able to kick it next round, I probably definitely should have played independent right here. He gets rid of Truman Doctrine easy. I knock out Yugoslavia or something like that. But definitely should have went ahead and played independent reds for the event, especially considering where I was, kind of where we're at, only getting one op. But with that being said, I start trying to climb up into that Southeast Asia, which no one's really gotten in. We were able to get rid of Vietnam, but now it's back in the deck. You can get it again. Looking at this hand, we've got a couple cards that are good. We got Brush War. So we're going to see if we can take a shot at Italy, win it back. It's 50-50 on Italy. So hopefully we can win that back and be kind of back in Europe. And then after that, we'll look all right. We'll have still have some work to do in the Africa and in the Third War, but he didn't get some of the other things, so we should be okay. We got Panama, so that's going to give us an intro into South America. We can bear trap them, so we got some good things going on. So we're going ahead and brush warn, and we don't win. Granted, with that socialist government, he could have just taken it right back potentially, but at least we would have gotten the coup. But we are not catching luck today. But it gives him a chance to flip France if he wants to with the socialist government, but we'll get the coup. So maybe we can go after something in the Middle East. We can go after Algeria up in North Africa. So we've got some shots. Only real thing we probably don't want to play this time is Allende. So what we're kind of hoping to happen here is going after socialist government. So I'm assuming he's going to try to flip. He's going to coup. And he coups out of South Africa. Wow. Okay. All right. So a little surprised by that play. We're going to play arms race. Go ahead and protect, or go ahead and take back some of our countries there in Europe. So hopefully now, kind of the game plan. We'll throw Panama Canal. We'll be able to take Panama, and then we can throw some ops. Maybe Costa Rica. Go ahead and score that for a little bit of a score. And that also give us a little bit of an intro into the rest of South America. We're really not looking good in Africa, especially since he just cooed us out of South Africa, which is kind of your stronghold, so to speak. So we'll go ahead and play this Panama play. So he's kind of locking and loading in Africa. So right now, Africa is just garbage. That's all it really is. So at some point in this round, see if we can solidify. We're going ahead and throwing one op up in Canada because we really need to hope that we can get some leverage out of NORAD, to be able to flip something later here. All right. So now you pretty much know he's got Africa. So beforehand, it's like, all right, not really that stressed out. Um, so we need to accomplish a couple things here. We need to, we definitely need to stop his Africa play. So uh, take one of our one out card, coup here. Might even be able to set us up for a realignment into Algeria. We're at 2-1 right now. All right, see if we can get lucky. Right here with a little bit of a bear trap. Um, you know, we know he's got to score something. So kind of the idea here is, all right, nice. We keep Vietnam revolts. He gets out of it pretty quick. Um, knock away the complete control. Still hurts because 7's better than 10. Um, go ahead and throw one up in Canada for NORAD, and then basically, he's gonna score this for 7, but at least we'll get Central America. Would have liked to. At least we have a presence. All right, let's score Central America. All right, so he's still up to a huge lead. Looking at our hand, this hand, public government, nice card at this point. Nuclear subs, nice card. Maybe we can counteract some of what's going on in Africa. Um, we also have where we can get back the China card, but we have. Um, so what we might try to do here is if we can get some of these countries, especially with public governments, maybe we can help us with a decent alliance for progress because we can score that for 5 points. That would be huge. Kind of get us back as points. Um, you know, nothing too crazy. We'll probably try to space OPEC. Don't really have a great headline card. I don't really maybe go ahead and headline the China card. Nixon plays the China card, but we want to play Cultural Revolution. We'd rather just play that given the one op because we want to space OPEC. If we didn't have that card, would have headlined Nixon plays China card, which it is what it is. Play this card, maybe it kind of makes it less likely that he goes and coups Venezuela. So it's a ripe target to go coup. So, make it a little bit tougher for him. We will see. Playtime ran into Tehran. Nice. So awesome. Get rid of blockade once again. We're going to go ahead and get rid of lone gun and junta. It's a neutral event. But right now, it can hurt us more than it can help us just because we're already in the South America region. We don't want to have them away to get to that region. So a couple cards, good cards to get rid of. So here comes this coup. So he rolls a 3. He just knocks us out. And once our headline, if we don't play that headline, he's able to actually take Venezuela, or at least get one off of Venezuela, and then have that influence. So I guess our headline actually worked. So we're going to use we're going to give him a victory point here with the Cultural Revolution. Um, but we get that card out of the deck, which could always hurt us. Take the flip flop of the China card. Um, but once again, he's got this huge point lead, but we're okay. You look at Europe, we're struggling there, we're struggling in Africa, but we've really got Asia and America looking good. So he's space and it's successful. Of course, I can't win a space race to save my life. Go ahead and space our card. Would have been better. So we finally win one, get a point. Okay. But hopefully we can win the next one so we can stop being able to space two cards. Because it's hurting us right now with him having the opportunity to space everything remotely bad away. If we've really been hurt by a little bit of card luck, except for thank goodness a couple of breaks did go. Mainly keeping Decall and D-Stall out of the deck, but then when he rolls you out of South Africa, it kind of negates a little bit of that. You know, the optimization of being able to get Decall. So definitely our next play will be taking public governments, getting back in South America, spreading some influence around, and trying to score Alliance for Progress. I mean, that's kind of the goal for the round. If we can get a coup in at one of these non-battlegrounds, that would be an optimum too. All right. So he actually decides to play Colonial Rearguards mainly because he's at so far along in the space race that he can't actually space it. He's got to have 3-up cards. We could have gone in and attacked Africa, but at this point, I felt like it was. You're looking at. We know we want to spread ops through South America, but here we've had. It's just a matter of time for finally he gets something to jump into Southeast Asia. And we've got the battlegrounds. We don't want to be able to let him jump in the middle of that Southeast Asia, especially right now when he's got the China card too. They'll be able to explode a bunch of ops and take the country count away. So it's one of our spots that we've got influence, and we can't let that go away. All right, so spread some influence here in South America. Um, we're hoping pretty quick to be able to just kind of throw some of our ops out and be able to get some points. We're going to go ahead. We're not really worried about Fidel. We can play that card. We've already scored that region for this mid-war time period. So I'd rather have a chance to go ahead and use those ops at this point because we're behind on the clock, so we need every op we can. Sometimes nice play would be to space it or even to go ahead and place it and then immediately use most of those ops to try to realign them back on the Cuba on an even dice roll. But at this point, I think that we need ops everywhere. We need ops specifically in South America. We also need some extra ops in the Middle East to kind of protect us from some things. We need, we'd like to be able to protect India, by throwing some ops over there. So space races, ask not, which wouldn't have hurt us that bad. All right. So we spread a little bit of our ops around. Um, we played nuclear subs, so it kind of negates our chance to kind of even Africa out. Maybe that's a mistake. I'm not sure. Um, just felt like, man, throwing some ops and being able to get some of our points back, so to speak, just because of how many points he's been able to get. Um, we need to be able to pick up 5 points right now would be huge. Granted, if we it's kind of this one, two, four. So really, in all honesty, what I should have did here was I go ahead and place the ops into Chile, and then I place it for 5, but then I lose 2 ops for military ops. Should coup here, got our military ops, and then still played it for 4. So we would have came out better. Um, so was a little mistake. Would have also given a chance to possibly realign Nigeria. So start off next round. So definitely what we should have did there was go ahead and get the military ops and then play alliance for progress from 4 instead of 5. So we would have netted 4 points versus netting 3. So another little mistake we made in this game. We're still in deep trouble. At least we still know Southeast Asia is coming out, so maybe we can throw another op in there and get another point there. But at least we have some points there. Asia still looks good. South America looks great. Central America looks good. So, if you start looking, I mean, we're winning 3 regions. They're winning 3 regions. Um, Africa can be flipped in a heartbeat. Middle East is a little harder to flip. We've got some work to do. And all right, so we get it. We get we take our points there. Um, he gets some of them back. Yeah. All right. So we've got Sadat, so we can hopefully take back Egypt. We've got U.S., Japan, March plan. So we got a couple big op cards. Um, Bredesen Doctrine doesn't hurt us. We'll say that's our last round play. We'll probably play John Paul just to potentially can set up some things in the late war if we can make it that far. Um, Liberation Theology, we'd like to space it. And once again, we'll keep Allen Day. It's kind of the play. We can also play India Pakistan War card for the event, try to get 2 victory points. Our military ops that way. So we're gonna go ahead and play John Paul since we're kind of thinking we played the event set up things later. Well, thought I was. Plus, it's kind of especially since he gets to see our. All right, so I probably do think I should have started that. But the idea here is that I get a head start on a couple other non-battle rounds. Get to go and throw some influence back in to make Canada a little closer because he throws ops in there to try to make it where I can't play NORAD. Interesting play. He's wasted, what, 4 ops just to be able to get me not to play NORAD. I mean, it's only, since we played, it's only really helped us once. Oh, so kind of protects us in a couple countries, gets us closer to taking a couple back. Hopefully, we can pick up a couple of other ones to even up the country count maybe in Europe. So if we could ultimately make Europe even, that would be pretty huge for this game. He's looking great in the Middle East. He's obviously going to take us out of Iraq, which sucks. I guess it's a good thing we decided not to headline Sadat, so it still gives us a chance there um, to be able to at least take that country so we don't get, completely knocked out of the region. So maybe we'll have a chance to battle back a little bit. Where's the coup? So he rolls a 2, so he's slightly unlucky, but he's had pretty good luck rolling stuff. So, um, and then we place those other two back in the Middle East. So we keep a presence, just in case he's got the scoring card and you know be okay. So right now, I mean, Europe hadn't been scored, South America hasn't been scored, Middle East and Southeast Asia. So that would have been a good card for us to get. So I'd like for him to waste a couple ops to take Egypt before I throw Sadat. Uh, that is what it is. So we go ahead and take Canada back for future NORADs in case ABM treaty or something like that comes out. We can take advantage of it. Um, so space is stuck in cover. We're going to go ahead and space and see if we can stop him from being able to space 2 cards. We fail. So if he's got something else kind of nasty that's over 3 op or better, he can get rid of it as well. It's kind of not cool. And he does. So instead of he's able to get rid of Missouri. He's least unlucky now on some space races. Um, so we're playing the war card for the event. So we think we end up actually playing the card for the event. Um, Once again, I feel like kind of waiting on Sadat to he throw some influence there. Um, so we do end up going into a Pakistan war card. And I think we're actually successful. So we're doesn't give us doesn't flip any ops, but we get military ops and 2 victory points. So that's basically a 4-point swing. So instead of him getting 2 victory points, and I mean we could have cooed something else with it too, but military op plus 2 victory points, that's a win-win for us there. Now looking through the discard pile. So if we can just pick up 2 2-point countries and take the UK back, we'll be tied on the country count in Europe. All right, so he finally takes Egypt. We'll now play Sadat to flip it back. So kind of play we knew we want to play, but we wanted him to waste stops, and he did. Um, so we're good there. So now at this point, maybe we can. Nice. So he's got to score South America scoring for us for 10. That's huge, huge. Blues on the first side of the scoreboard for the day. So, um, so with our last play, we'll have Bresnan. We'll be able to explain the China card. Okay. So all I can think of is he's got something that he just can't. He hadn't been able to deal with. He's trying to get rid of it. He still has CIA. He's had CIA since round 2 or round 3. Never played it. So he definitely has to still worry about that. We have Lone Gunman, which sucks, and especially since Asnon had already been played. It would have been nice to get rid of that. We've got Middle East. That's not cool. But maybe with Avium Treaty, we can flip one of those countries, make it a little easier. So we're going to play one small step because we need to catch up that space race deal just a little bit, just to keep them from being able to space 2 cards every time. The other option would have been to headline ABM Treaty. And then you basically get to coup something, which would be most advantageous if we needed to coup something in Asia, but we got Asia looking pretty awesome. So no use to really headline that right now, in my opinion. Depending on what he does, we might take Lone Gunman if he doesn't coup or something. That's not going to happen. We could have attempted to try to headline Lone Gunman. But that's always scary. If he does anything to drop the DEFCON in the headline phase, basically that means you then lose. Another reason why you wouldn't want to do Lone Gunman is if you headline Lone Gunman, then he looks and he definitely goes after and accuses Egypt. And then having a control there would hurt. So he's definitely thinking over what he's going to do here. Um, the big thing is, like, let's say he has grain cells and CIA, and he can't coup and get out of. He can't get out of, you know, um, yeah. So at some point he's got to bite the bullet with CIA. And we've looked, but we really hadn't had an opportunity to try to really press the what's the word I'm looking for, the DEFCON suicide. Maybe earlier we had Nixon gets the China card. We probably should have played it and try to force him to play CIA then, in hindsight. So he gets rid of Quagmire, which never did a whole lot for us. And he goes ahead and plays Europe scoring. All right. So we can't get rid of Allende or Long Gunman. So basically, it's special relationships, how I learn, one of these 2-op cards. Which already looking back on it, NATO is up, right? pretty sure, which would have been 2 victory points to play it. So he finally decides to play CIA, and he does have brain cells. So um, we could have. Yeah, we could have headlined How I Learned to Stop Worrying, um, and then moved the DEF CON down to 2. Yeah, that's what we should have did. Hindsight, we should have known it because we knew he had CIA. He's had CIA since 2, around 7. We knew brain cells had to come. So without a doubt, should have played How I Learned to Stop Worrying, and he wouldn't have been able to get rid of it. He'd been stuck. He would have been stuck. So in a game we're in poor position, we could have won if we would spend a little time to think a little bit more about it. And I might be wrong. Maybe grain cells did get played and just came back in the reshuffle. We'll have to check in that. So we're going to kind of gamble here. It doesn't work, but basically what we decide to do or what we decided to do there with our op was we're hoping that he wouldn't notice what we were doing with the CIA card, and then we could get a free coup in. That's kind of the goal. So we could actually play Lone Gunman to get rid of it. But at least we're able to pick up the extra points with Southeast Asia. So we're looking good. We can't catch some points that we desperately need in the game where we've seemed to hemorrhage a ton of points. So he's got some interesting cards. We probably want to, the idea here with this ABM treaty is, do we try to protect South America with it, or do we NOS, or do we go ahead and try to flip a country in the Middle East? So if you flip one of these countries in the Middle East, obviously the main target is probably Libya, but I'm really still thinking that's not the right play. Hold off, try to protect South America with it. Get that in OS. He's got junta. So hopefully we can, any damage he does, we can repair. That's kind of the thought process. We know we're going to eventually have to play Island Day too. So. But one of the bigger takeaways, is that part of USA's game plan has got to be sometimes pushing for the DEF CON suicide. We've kind of let him get away with, he has CIA, which basically means it's a card he can't roll a bad card over, but he was able to get to the, where he was space racing to bat his bad cards. So we had him in a spot where we definitely could have had some good events happen for us because of him having to hold CIA and not ever bite that bullet. But since we couldn't win our space race rolls, he was able to get around that scenario in a different way. So anybody tells you that, pushing for a DEF CON suicide or forcing a DEF CON suicide, it's kind of like not as a glorious way to win. It's like it's we would have taken the opportunity to really kind of think about what cards have been played. We could have forced it, and you could have won a game. And mainly you're winning that because your opponent decided to gamble. because he's held CIA for 4 rounds. He had some other things to try to help him get out of it, but we could have definitely forced the situation. So he plays D-Stall, and he's going into South America. All right. So, trying to get himself a presence there. What he's going to ultimately end up doing is trying to set up a junta play, which, by the way, just a heads up, we mishandle on our end to protect against it. So, don't know why, but going ahead and playing the China card to try to, protect Mexico and keep what's going on in Central America, I thought was vital. The mistake, though, is we placed one extra into Chile, and really the thought process was we needed Argentina. Because if he throws, kind of protects from evening up the ops when he throws a junta in. So that way, if he does end up with both the non-battlegrounds next to Argentina, you're still on an even roll. If he slams 2 in there, and so at least you're in even roll versus being, him having the advantage of the 2-1. So, all right. So, but you're still good shape. You're still, if you're looking right now, if you try to realign you on anything, you're, without junta, you're still in okay shape. So we give up 6 points. Kind of the idea here is hopefully between ABM Treaty and OS, we kind of repair a lot of this damage that might happen here with this junta that's about to happen. But if we would have put the 1 extra into Argentina, you'll see right now. So he has a +1 modifier, but he rolled 6-3, 5-2. It didn't matter. Just didn't matter. Good. So he couldn't have gotten better rolls. I mean, just he knocked it out of the ballpark. So kind of come in here with a OS, try to throw a little influence back in. He nodded and he's had some good dice rolls, and he has. He says, I've got the card luck, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like I've had the card luck. So we can hopefully. So, all right. So it was a +1 modifier there. We actually hold off. I guess that's a little bit of a reaction back. And if we can coup and be successful right here, we roll a 1. Yikes. So, we thought we had a chance to get back down there, and we roll a 1. Yeah. So we're now in the late war. You can see some good cards. Tear down this wall, terrorism, Iran-Iraq war. He still has grain cells, so maybe we can catch him there. Tear down this wall. We can coup first. And probably the reason why we shouldn't have played the China card last time is knowing he had grain cells. So we get this card, we get tear down this wall, we get drop DEFCON down. But more importantly, we're then going to have a chance to play terrorism for the win. But since we played the whatchamacallit last time, the China card, he's kind of protected against it. So, so really two hands in a row where we had a chance to kind of take it to him. He's at this point on the space race where if he gets one more, he can drop a card at the end of the round. But he didn't make it that far. So at that point, he got a shot at it. So instead of realigning, we're going to try to coup. Roll 3. 4, 5, or 6 would have been real nice right there. especially a 6 would have been really nice. We would have flipped it, but just to have a chance to knock off some of that influence would have been nice. Um, kind of looking at our hand, we're still playing a little dangerous with long gunmen. We can get some, we can take a shot at the Iraq war, but we want to do that before we play flower power. So for a game where lots gone wrong, at least for the moment, we're winning the victory, the victory point tracker. Um, but we're not in good shape. Losing Africa, losing Middle East, losing Europe. So we're winning 2, we're losing 3 straight up. Middle East, we're losing bad. Um, Africa, we're losing bad. We're even in South America, but it's tenuous there. We're winning in Central America, so we're winning 2 areas. And even in the other. So right now, if it's tallied up, he's looking better. Now, granted, our Asia is strong. So he's finally out of grade cells. So we would have probably gotten out of it with you in intervention. But if we would have still played that, you drop the DEF CON, you play terrorism, you're still able at that point to, probably play an extra round. So 33% chance. We'll roll a 4, so close. It would have been nice to have won that. Would have given us some hope in the region. Because then at that point, you just have to flip one more and we even up. So he gets Africa for 6. And we're back behind again. All right. Gamble with terrorism here. See if we can get him to drop a huge card. Nice. We get the reformer out of the deck. So that's advantageous for us. Good pull. Definitely one. Probably the pull we wanted. Not 100% sure, but yeah. Wasn't like we were ever in danger of Star Wars. So win a couple rolls there. What's a shame about Chile is like we don't even really want to throw ops in because we have Allen Day. So I'd rather him have to place the ops in there to take it than give him Allen Day. Um, Almost forgot we were red scared. We have been red scared several times in this game. Makes our hand suck. As simple as that. we go ahead and take UK because of special relationships. Um, Even though I don't even know if it's in the deck, I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look. I know it got played late. I remember talking about it, but I can't remember if it got re-rolled in the re-roll. Uh, but we probably should have spent some time to go ahead and shore up the two op countries. This definitely should have been something that we considered because they're vulnerable, whereas the UK is not getting. And that's why. I mean, socialist government, that card, he knocks you out. You can't get right back in. So you had a chance to be able to kind of even up the country count. Now you don't. So um, when you're just looking for one op, all your cards are one op, except for flower power. Try to save it to the end that we know we need it. Uh, Maybe we can space liberation theology. No, we can't. Can't space that either. So, yikes. So, because we have to play liberation theology too, um, maybe the play is to set up a realignment, but I don't think that's what I do either. That's right. So, go ahead and protect. So that way you can't slam the China card. Be able to take Taiwan, not Taiwan, but Thailand. So kind of looking, we're going to play liberation theology and and flower power. It's kind of our plays. But it plays the China card mainly because basically he's almost got to just because of card count. Hence, once again, kind of being a little bit more aware of the DEFCON than what we were in this game. Could have really pressed the tax to it if we would have just kind of held on with the fact that we easier to line up Mexico instead of using the China card last round. Granted, at the time we didn't want to play Island Day. Obviously, we couldn't play Long Gun. That was part of the reason for it. So So obviously here I was trying to decide just to straight up realign with liberation theology or go ahead and place influence. Um, I think I settled on just placing influence, hoping I'd be able to come back and be able to do it. It's kind of the idea. He takes him a 3 out card to take it. If he tries to realign, I'm 2-0 on realignment, so he's obviously not going to do that. And then also, depending on what he does, I was thinking I could take flower power. It's a 2-0 and be able to try to realign with it. So he tries to coup me out. He plays nuclear subset, gives me an opportunity to coup. So couple choices here. I can go. He's got the southern part of South America is so locked down. There's no use to even try to get back into it. I can try to flip a country in South Africa, or I can go after Mexico. So Severialainen, I can coup him out. It's kind of the idea. Um, so a couple different options there. Uh, if we could get the coup here, we kind of then we just have to flip one of these countries at some point. So we got some cars that maybe can get us down there. So definitely some options. We go ahead, go for Mexico. We go up 4-2. We're out of the Red Scare. Um, yeah, pretty off around. All right, so round 9, we've got some okay cards here. We've got Voice of America, Salt, on the rear guards, Defectors, Summit. But the big thing is we can get rid of Long Gun. So we're probably going to headline Asnot because it's a round where we don't play ops. So I'd rather headline it and then also see what you get back. Because if you end up with something really crappy, I'd rather know from the beginning to be able to deal with it versus, surprising yourself at the end. Yep. So another thing, if we would have pushed the DEF CON play, could have even put him in a situation where he spaces his own cards to be able to have a shot to discard a to discard to get out of the DEF CON suicide. So definitely a game we definitely should have. I know I keep harping on it, but definitely should have been aware of it a little bit more. And that's especially round 3, round 7. Those are the times where you really should go in and really think about what's been played. If you hadn't seen CIA, he's got it. If the mid wars happen, it's round 7, and he doesn't have, you haven't seen grain sales, then it happens. So he drops the DEF CON suicide, or he drops the DEF CON with that card. So we'll go ahead and get rid of a couple of big cards, mainly Lone Gunman, Muslim Revolution. See what we get back. Nice. So we get back USA cards. So that's awesome. We got some decent ops where we can do things. I don't really, in an ideal world, we hold Voice of America at the round 10. So now, because of that brush war, if I had to do this over again, Voice of America might have been a strong play right here. He got a victory point. And the reason why I played the China card to get 2 victory points, or the Nixon card, was my thought process was, hey, he's at 7, I'll drop it back down to 5, but I forgot about We Will Bury You. So, which got him back. So I just completely wasted that play. So I was worried about the War Games being out, and that's why that play happened. But if I had to do that again, I would have realized We Will Bury You. I didn't have the ops to be able to get back down to 6 or under. I played Voice of America here against Venezuela and Libya. He's going to try to reline me out of Brazil at that point, but maybe, just maybe, on a 1-to-1 roll, I win. At that point, I repopulate, and then I also am able to take Libya. So then, I'm getting one step closer to be able to flip Middle East. I maintain South America, which would have sucked to be able to play Voice of America now versus holding it around 10. But that's kind of the, sometimes you have to make the play when you have it to try to survive, because we can't lose South America completely. So right now, I mean, all we're gonna do is just get realigned out. That's what's gonna happen. Um, so we're in tough trouble there. Um, we've got Colonial Rearguard, so we can hopefully make a little play in Africa, where maybe we can make a little noise. Um, we will see what happens. We can get one victory point by playing Reagan bombs Libya. We can get one victory point for playing defectors. But I mean, that's starting to be just kind of have to hope and pray. So, all right, so man, we're out of South America region. So that went from being awesome to not awesome really quick. Uh, all right. So kind of my thought process here is, you know, throw some influence there. We've got, a couple bigger cars, salt negotiations, Soviets, we can actually hopefully flip a couple of these countries. Um, he, you know, ugh, so it plays decal, repairs it. So that's just kind of the mute point there. So one thing while we're noticing too is that Italy's still at two. So hopefully at the end of this turn, maybe we can play Soviet shoots down KL to all into Italy. And that would be going into next round at 3-2. So hopefully he had noticed that. We'll see what he does. So he plays AWACS, which is awesome. Muslim Revolution is no longer playable, but it's out of the deck anyway. Um, so we're going to slam some ops into Venezuela, at least make him use his ops to get to Brazil. Um, we'll throw one over there in Romania so we can pick up a point there. And then be a little bit closer to the country count as well. This shows just sometimes, just little dice rolls. Early in the game, if we would have won our dice roll in Italy, maybe Europe's a little different, and then we get, you know, he gets it back, so he gets the 50-50 card roll. I mean, I'm saying, and so he gets um, a chance to have um, to play it, and of course, then he wins and is able to be successful there. looking at this board, obviously, we still want to kind of hold Soviets shoot down KOL. So we're going to play Summit and then Libya and KOL. It's kind of the play here. Keep Voice of America for round 10 gloriness. Um, all right. So no dice on the even. Still wish I would have played, looking back upon that, wish I would have played Summit first for the one op, and then used the Libya card to do damage in my round 6 play to be able to try to set up the kitchen, the Soviets play. Really wish I would have done that. But I throw one into Japan, well, I guess with the idea that, it only takes a 2-up card to take it back, since it's probably not going to happen. But yeah, if I place that one up, I place Summon up there, and then I go use the Libya card to even attack Libya, possibly. Then basically what we're trying to do is set it up where we can force slam all that card into it. Kind of force the play of the game a little bit. Something we definitely didn't do well here. So we protect South America. We're still able to slam into Italy. But we're definitely down on the track. So, and of course, South America has to come back out. Not Asia, but South America. So, looking at this, we've got duck and cover to give us a couple points, get us 3. We got Voice of America, Shuttle Diplomacy. Evil Empire cancels Flower Power. Am I not? I'm sitting here going, duck cover's an obvious play here. Drops it to 6, and then it drops Def God. I'm trying to think of what I'm thinking about here with Latin American Death Squads. Awful play. Duck and cover, 100% the play there. Don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I mean, yeah, awful play. And then he types a good game because he knows he's good. He knows he's about to win. What was I doing? So he drops DEFCON to 2, and then here comes War Games. But at least when we play duck and cover, it gives us a shot. Wow, I didn't even realize I made that bad of a play right there, round 10. So anyway, Doomsday, hats off, well played. Did some great things. He definitely played kind of a sancty style. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but he went there, he thoughts about it. But he went after victory points early, and he spaced a lot, which is definitely part of it. Some things that didn't go our way. We had some things go our way, but we let him set up that play with Junta. Was hats off though. He set that up beautifully with the Junta. You can see it coming from a mile away. But he did a fantastic job there setting up that, and that kind of changed the South America dynamic. If we don't lose that dynamic in South America, I look at this board, and granted, it hadn't come back out to score. But I think it changed. I think he had all the early momentum, catching all the victory points from the victory cards, and we kind of gained some of the back in the middle of the war. We were able to score some victory points here and there, and then knowing we have Voice of America here at the end. Looking at this game, we're not going to play Blockade or Nasser, and then everything else is okay. Duck and cover should have definitely been played there. I cannot believe I didn't play that. Oh my goodness. And granted, maybe he has something else to get victory points, and then he's off to the races. But maybe he's got Asia, and we score that for a bunch of points. Maybe he's got Central America, and we score it for a bunch of points. We won't know. I think I'm going to tell you the only thing I can think of with not playing duck and cover was we wanted him to coup so we could take so we could take it. So basically instead of we wanted to force that action, either take Italy or give us the coup, an opportunity to coup something. And that's what that was about. We wanted to have an opportunity to coup something in South America since we had the scorecard. So that's what happened there, looking back on it, why we didn't play duck and cover. And we were trying to, that's why we played the other card, giving us the +1 and, kind of modifiers in that region. Was trying to maybe, if we get lucky in South America, to have a shot there. And that's why that duck and cover didn't get played. But, round 10, you hadn't seen war games. You got to protect against war games first, and then deal with it. But it might not have mattered. We were going to have to play that South America card. So, but good game. Hands, we had some bad luck. We had some good luck. And just flatly, we got outplayed. So Doomsday, hats off. And I hope you enjoy the video. It's going to be up. And anyway, so that's that. Appreciate it, guys. Hopefully next time the game is better. I play a little bit better. But anyway, feel free to place your comments and throw your ideas on what you would do or how to do, because that's what makes this community great is people talking their ideas and how to play, and we all get a little smarter, we all get a little brighter. But anyway, appreciate it, guys, and we'll do it next time.